What's up, Nathan? Quick demo video for you for your Aniflex by 7 chambers. Just got this done this morning. This has a lot of fingerprints on it right now, but I'll wipe that off before I send it. This thing's just kind of a fingerprint magnet, and I don't have gloves. So it's installed the Proffie V2. You've got CC sabers in there for your main PCB. This is a 2-button setup, right? So your top switch here, that's your activation, and then your bottom switch down here, that's your auxiliary switch. How to get to everything is you just want to unscrew this pummel cap. I'm going to put this little simple tool in your box, and it just lines up with these outside vents, and it's just kind of like a 3D printed wrench is all it is, right? It helps you get that off. You can do a few turns until it gets loose, and then you can use your fingers for the rest. Comes off just like that. You'll see your speaker right there. You can go like that with your hand, and your chassis will pop out, and you can just pull it right on out. This utilizes the Smuggler's Outpost switch pixel PCB set to make it wireless. And then you've got your 14 pins in here. Now this is something that you'll never need to do. I'm just going to show you one time so you know how this saber was built. But if I unscrewed it from the middle, you'd see your PCB set right here with those 14 pins on it. I do not suggest putting your chassis in this way. It's not good to sideload the pins as you're twisting it on. So we'll just, I just took it apart like this to show you what the internals look like. But I would take the chassis out and put it in over here from the pommel. All right. So we'll lock this back down. I did have to do some modification to this guy. It's the same thing I do with all these Aniflexes. I take the 2 screws holding your control box on, and I Dremel off about 2.5 threads off those, and then about 3 threads off that Covertech screw, and then I go in with a file and I kind of clean and I deburr so the chassis slides in and out smoothly. And then you already had your blade retention screw shaved down. You shaved it down quite a bit. It does hold a blade in there. Everything's fine, but I'm just pointing out that you had it shaved down already, so I didn't have to do that part. But for your chassis, here's your chassis. It does say 7 chambers, Aniflex over here in Arabish. It says Solo Sabers over here for me in Arabish. You've got the 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker here. This is a removable battery setup, so spring side right here for your battery, and then your Proffie board is a snap fit down into the shelf. I do put this little piece right here in the chassis for some future art tape if needed, but for right now it's a press fit. I don't think that you'll ever need it, but it's there just in case you need to hold the board down in some other way. It's best to have it and not need it than vice versa. All right. There is a copy of your config file on this SD card so you can see what I did, and I put the 2 sound fonts on here that you gave me. So we're going to throw a battery in this guy.
Well, you owe me one, and not for saving your skin for the 10th time.
Now, when you put that battery in, you can put this in any way you want. So
Well, you owe me one, and not for saving your skin for the 10th time.
So when you have this battery in, you can put this in any way you want. Just come over here and slide it right in. It might go off on you because you have motion controls. It didn't that time. But we'll put it in as far as it goes, and then we'll put the cap back on. Just do as much as you can with your finger real quick. When it starts to get tightened, or if it starts to get tight on you, just come back and use this guy. This is mainly what this is for right here. So you can tighten this down. It locks the chassis into those 14 pins, right? Got your LEDs firing up in there. Auxiliary. You can twist off, or you can come over here and hit activation. Then tap again to turn it off. Just like that. We'll test this out. I've got a very short 7/8 inch blade. This is my test blade that I recently rebuilt. So I took about that much off of it. So it is a short blade, but it shows you functionality of the saber just fine. We're going to toss that in there and we'll lock it down. Now, as you know, because you've messed around with this blade retention tool, this blade retention screw already, it not only acts as a blade retention, but it also tightens up this inside emitter part. So when it's loose and you're putting your blade in, everything else up here is loose as well. But when you tighten everything down, it's fine. Just tapping for blaster bolt deflex. You have blade lock up, so if you hit the saber or the blade, it will initiate blade lock up and stay like that until you pull away from it. But this is a short blade, so you don't see it. It's programmed for a full length blade, and you'll see that blade lock up right in the middle of your blade. To get to your sound tracks, what you want to do is just hold down your power for 1 second and let go. You can turn the saber on while you're doing this. Right. Do the same thing to turn it off. Hold down for 1 second and let go. And then we'll go to the next sound font. You gave me 2. So you go fast or slow. You've got good response on this auxiliary switch. I spend a lot of time tweaking the auxiliary switches on these sabers because they can be a little bit finicky. So I take the provided tactile. I have to file that down a bit on the underside of it. Find where this is going to have that nice clicky noise, you know, like that. And then I lock this piece down when I'm screwing it in exactly where it needs to go. Because if it goes too far in, the button won't work. And of course, too far out, it's too loose. So there's a fine line there that I found in the 13 of these sabers that I've done. It's kind of the sweet spot. So now that we've hit auxiliary, we're into the stock sound fonts, and I left all those on there for you. So I'll show you on this one. If you don't like a color of a blade, just hold down power and hit aux. Just hold down the aux and hit power. You'll hear that noise. And now you can just twist the saber to find anything you like. So if we like that green, now we can swing it on and it'll be green. Just like that. And of course that works for any sound font. We'll turn this light back on and take the blade out. So yeah, everything's working exactly like it should. No worries there. Tighten this back up for you. And then we'll go over just taking the battery out real quick, which is super easy, right? We'll just do the same thing we did when we put it in. So we're gonna come over here and loosen up this cap a little bit with that tool, and then we'll do the rest with our fingers. And then that chassis will fall right into your hand just like that. You can pull it out. And then from the positive side of the battery, which is over here by your speaker, pull it out with your finger just like that. And that's pretty much your saber. So let me know if you got any questions, man. If not, I will get this out in the mail to you by tomorrow. All right, thanks.